All right, let's dive into Genesis 3. Now, you might think you know this story. Garden, snake, apple, right? But it is so much more than that. It's really this deep psychological drama, and its consequences, well, they've been echoing through history for thousands of years. So today we're going to break down this foundational story of the fall and really get into what's happening just beneath the surface.
So picture this. You're in a perfect world, the Garden of Eden. And the setup, it's about as simple as it gets. You've got total freedom with just one rule from God. Just one. Don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's it. Everything else, totally fair game.
I mean, it's paradise with literally one do not touch sign. So of course, the big question is, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, as it turns out, the conflict kicks off almost right away. And what's interesting is it doesn't start with a big action. It starts with a simple, sneaky little question. And that, right there, is where our story really gets going.
Okay, so the first player to make a move here is the serpent. And the text is super specific about this. This isn't just some random snake. It's described as being more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. So right off the bat, we know we're dealing with a very cunning character here, one who definitely has a plan. And just look at how the serpent starts its attack. It's brilliant, in a sneaky way. It's not a threat. It's not a command. It's a question. And it's a question designed to plant a little seed of doubt. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? See what it did there? That's a clever little twist. It exaggerates the rule to make God sound totally unreasonable. And this is where we get to the absolute heart of the deception. It's laid out so clearly. You have God's straightforward warning, if you eat this, you will die. And then you have the serpent's direct contradiction, you will not certainly die. I mean, that's not just a little twist anymore. That's a full-on assault on reality itself.
So you got to ask, why would she even keep listening at this point? Well, it's because the serpent is smart. It follows up that huge lie with an incredible, tantalizing promise. It's a three-part deal. 1, your eyes will be opened. 2, you will be like God. And 3, you'll finally know good and evil. See, this isn't about an empty stomach. This is a temptation about gaining power, about enlightenment, about becoming something more.
So, the stage is set, the temptation is on the table, and now we've reached it. The absolute turning point of the whole story, the moment of choice.
What's really fascinating here is that the text actually walks us through her thought process. This was not some impulsive grab. She's actively thinking it through. She sees, okay, number 1, the fruit looks good to eat. Number 2, it's beautiful, pleasing to the eye. And number 3, the real kicker, it was desirable for gaining wisdom. She's literally weighing the pros and cons here, and then she makes a calculated choice.
And then it happens. The action itself is described so simply, so starkly. She took some and ate it. But listen to this next part, because it's absolutely crucial. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. He was there the whole time, and he goes right along with it. No argument, no protest, nothing.
And the result? It's instant. And it's shared. This doesn't just affect her, it affects both of them. Their eyes are opened at the exact same time. They are 100% in this together, which means they're about to face the fallout together too.
So this big promise of their eyes being opened, what did that actually look like? Well, it wasn't the godlike wisdom they were sold, not even close. Instead, their first big realization is that they're naked. The immediate result isn't power, it's shame, it's fear. And it makes them do something they've never done before. They hide from God.
And that act of hiding, well, it leads straight to a confrontation. And with that confrontation comes a reckoning. The time has come for judgment.
So when God comes into the garden, the first thing he asks is so profound. He says, "Where are you?" Now, obviously, he knows where they are physically. This isn't a question about location. It's a relational question. It's an opportunity, an invitation for them to come out of hiding and just own up to what they did. But instead of taking that opportunity, what do we get? The blame game. And it starts immediately. The man points the finger at the woman, and he even throws a little shade at God, saying, "The woman you put here with me." Then the woman turns around and blames the serpent. In this huge, critical moment, absolutely nobody takes responsibility.
And because nobody steps up, the judgment comes down on all three of them. The serpent is cursed to crawl on its belly, the woman is told she'll have pain in childbearing, and for the man, the ground itself is now cursed, meaning he'll have to work and sweat for his food. Just like that, the era of an easy paradise is officially over.
But then comes the final universal consequence, the big one for all of humanity. For the first time, mortality enters the picture. The text says it so poetically and so chillingly. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Their existence is now finite. Death has officially entered the story.
So the judgment's been handed down, but believe it or not, the story still isn't quite over. There's one last, irreversible consequence that's about to happen: the expulsion from paradise.
But right before they're kicked out, something really unexpected and complicated happens. After delivering this heavy judgment, God himself makes them clothes out of skin and covers them. It's this strange, almost startling moment of care, an act of provision right in the middle of all this punishment.
Okay, so if they've been judged and now they're clothed, why do they still have to leave? Why was it so necessary to banish them from the garden?
Well, the text gives a very clear and actually very urgent reason. Because now that they know good and evil, there's another tree that's suddenly a huge problem: the tree of life. The expulsion is basically a preventative measure. It's to stop them from reaching out, eating from that tree, and being stuck in this broken, fallen state forever.
And that's how the story ends, with one of the most unforgettable images in all of literature. The path back to the Tree of Life is now blocked by a flaming sword flashing back and forth, making sure that separation is permanent. It's a powerful, dramatic ending that has shaped cultures for centuries. And it leaves us all with a pretty fundamental question, doesn't it? What does it mean to live out here, east of Eden, in a world where we're always looking for a way back to a paradise we can no longer enter?